garden friends, Miss Betsy here from the Faubion School Garden, and I'm reaching out to you today to talk about a little something called a habitat. Now, I know you remember what a habitat is. It's a home for plants and animals and other living organisms, right? And we can find all different kinds of habitats in the school garden. And we can find even more types of habitats as we venture out into the world. So today what we're going to do is we're going to investigate a couple habitats that are some of my favorite spots in my garden, and then we're going to build a little habitat, and I'll give you all a garden challenge. One thing that I want you to kind of look out for when we're investigating habitats today is that all habitats have something in common. Whether you're in an underwater habitat, a desert habitat, or a habitat in our very own school garden, what you're going to find is food, water, and shelter of some sort. So keep your eyes peeled for that as we explore today. Let's take a look at one of my personal favorite habitats. You know I love to bring these into school sometimes. It is a compost bin, and it's actually not just any old compost bin. Compost is just scraps of plants, right? Pieces of fruit and vegetables that are ready to be thrown away, or in this case, composted and turned into soil. And one of the best ways to do that is with a little help from some composting friends. Many of you know this is our worm bin. Here is an example of a little tiny baby worm. Do you see that wiggling right there? I'm being so gentle just to make sure that it stays safe. And these little worms are doing a wonderful job of eating up this compost and turning it into soil. Another one of my favorite habitats to investigate is underneath the rocks in my garden. I find all kinds of surprising creatures like to hide under there and make their shelter, find food and water. Let's see what we can find under a little rock habitat today. What about this little friend right here? Can you see it? It looks like a worm, but if you get really close, it's actually a little millipede. And they like to eat decomposing dead wood and bark, things like that. Let's see what else we can find. Ooh, a little pill bug! I love those. That's so fun. Ooh, a tiny, ooh, that's crazy. I'm not even sure what that little bug is. That was really cool. Oop, there goes the pill bug. Nice. Wow, check out the awesome slugs under here. This one even has a tiny baby snail sitting on it. Wow. You never know what you're going to find in a garden habitat. Another one of my favorite habitats in my garden is my pollinator habitat. I planted it to try to attract pollinators like bees and butterflies and hummingbirds, and it worked. And if you listen closely on this video, you can hear the bees buzzing. I actually love bees so much that I created a special bee habitat back here for my mason bees and other solitary insects that don't make honey. But they live alone, and they're only really active in the spring, and they zoom out in the springtime, and they are our most productive pollinators. Now we're going to get down to our activity today, which is building our very own habitat. Hey everybody, can you see me? Can you hear me? I'm down on the ground in the garden in the lettuce patch here, and we're going to build a little habitat. Now what I did is I went around my garden looking for things that I could make a shelter out of, but that also might be some food to tempt some little garden creatures to join us in this little tiny habitat I'm going to build. I gathered some leaves from my thimbleberry plant, my rhododendron plant. I gathered some flowers, some rocks, and some sticks. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, now check this out. Look who was traveling near my little habitat that I just made. So cute, right? Another snail. So I'm going to go ahead and oh so gently take this little garden friend, place it in its little shelter. Now I know it's going to get some water because it's going to rain, and I'm even going to take a little piece of lettuce and give it a little food. So it has food, water, and shelter. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for investigating habitats in my backyard garden today. Before you go, I do want to give you your garden challenge, of course. And that is for you to go outside with a guardian to make sure that you stay safe and to build a habitat of your own. Now, I have a little confession. When I was your age, I loved to build these habitats. And sometimes I'd build them for garden creatures, and sometimes I'd actually build them for my toys. So I'd bring out any little tiny toys. Maybe it would be a Lego, maybe it was a little animal. I had these little troll dolls that I loved, and I would build little villages for them and play games outside. So if you're feeling like supporting your garden, you could build a little garden habitat for a garden creature, or you could just play. Enjoy, everybody. So good to see you today. Bye-bye.